Hey guys, it's Jordan back here with another video, and in this video I just want to shoot the shit. I want you guys to get to know me a little bit more and know my backstory. I know I've mentioned it in other videos, but I've had experience living in Egypt and the United Arab Emirates, and yeah, I want to talk about that. In the past, UAE was the first country I ever went to. I would say it's a country that sparked my love of travel and just adventure and just seeing different cultures. I would say that sparked the interest. And when I was there, it was so different than what I was accustomed to. I'm talking about you have like people from all different types of nationalities just in the airport. And I remember when I first came to UAE, it just felt like a different type of vibe. I remember it being hot as heck when I got off the plane, and it was like 100 and something degrees. I think it's like one of like the hottest days that it was like ever like recorded in like that summer or something like that. So I got there, and just like a side note, my mom had already been working in UAE a couple months beforehand, and I would visit her in the summertime, just to see her for that time span, because that's pretty much the only time I would see her was in the summer for like 3 years, because I had to go to school in the United States. I wasn't able to fully live with her. So that was my first experience being out of the country. And what do I have to say? First of all, there's taxi drivers like everywhere, swarming around the airport. They had this like Indian dude that I think that we ended up just taking as like a driver. Or no, like my mom knew this, sorry, not Indian, Pakistani driver. Um, and he picked me up from the airport, and they picked me up from the airport, um, because she knew this driver. And yeah, they just met me at Abu Dhabi airport. And pretty sure my mom's neighborhood that she was living was called Medina Zayed, named after Sheikh Zayed. If you know, like the sheikhs in UAE, they're very important figures. They're in all the hotels. They're everywhere you can imagine them be, in all type of public places. But you're never allowed to talk about him directly. Um, but dude was kind of based. I mean, he united the Emirates. He connected. He united all the seven Emirates, and I think that he was attempting to get Kuwait a part of the Emirates, and that never ended up happening. But yeah, I stayed in Medina Zayed, and it was cool. And then my mom, her apartment complex, or the school that she worked for was an oil company, which is kind of common there. There's only two oil companies in the whole country. Everywhere you go, it's owned by the same type of gas station. So her school was owned by one of the major gas stations in UAE. UAE, what do I have to rate it overall? I probably would rate UAE like a solid 4.5, maybe even a 5, just because it was the first country that I ever went to. But as far as things that there are actually available to do, dude, it's pretty much nothing to do in UAE. Because I remember that first summer I went and saw my mom. We went to like a whole bunch of Southeast Asian countries as well. We went to Philippines, Indonesia. We went to Hong Kong. Um, Pretty sure we went to Singapore, Malaysia. We went to like, and I think maybe one more country. Oh yeah, and Thailand. So we went to like 6 countries in Southeast Asia, and no, East Asia and Southeast Asia during that time. And I mean, I knew right after that trip that UAE was ranked relatively lower on my list at that point, because I had went to all these type of countries, and I saw that, yeah, UAE is not. It's more of like a place where you go where there's a whole bunch of shopping malls. You can get fancy chocolates, designer things, but as far as the infrastructure and accessibility of public transportation, it's very similar to the United States. People drive around everywhere. There's a lot of kind of like fat people, you know what I mean? I mean, maybe not as many fat people as here, but Middle Eastern countries have a lot of fat people. Look at countries like Kuwait. I think they have the most fat people per capita, and it's, compared to any other country in the world. Or, I mean, like now, like it's like in the top 10 list or something. United States is not even in the top 10 list anymore. So yeah, I mean, I would probably just rank UAE as like a 4.5. It was an okay type of country. If I were to put it on a tier list, it'd be like maybe C tier, C plus tier, just because it's the first country I went to. But honestly, now, I mean, like if I had been to other countries beforehand and that was like my 10th country, then maybe I would rank UAE a lot lower, because it's just every country tries to copy the Dubai type of model. All of these developing countries, you see it like everywhere. But and then Dubai is almost a carbon copy of all the cool quote unquote shit that you see in other countries. Because I can see that the architect style in Dubai is even similar to what like some buildings that you would see in Singapore. They actually will get some of the same designers that design major architectural buildings in other countries, and they'll get them to come to UAE, and they'll try to recreate the same thing. So Dubai is not a unique city by any sense. Yeah, I mean, but living there, it was moderately okay. It was hot as heck. Would I recommend living in Dubai? No, not if you were in that situation. Not if you were given more options. I would not choose UAE as a country to live in. It feels kind of limited. The laws are kind of strict. You get charged $20 for a shot of vodka. I mean, all types of alcohol is pretty much prohibited outside of hotels. That's the only place you can go to get any sort of alcohol. And it's just not really a vibe. I mean, there's not like a lot of places you can like walk around in. And yeah, I mean, UAE was moderately decent. But I would still rate it higher than Egypt, and I've lived in Egypt as well. The thing I didn't like about Egypt was it was more racist. And you know, dude, like when I got off the airport where my mom was picking me up there, there was just a whole bunch of people you could tell that had a weird vibe towards black people. It wasn't anything distinctly racist that they were doing, or they could have been doing or saying things that were racist. I just didn't understand Arab. I mean, I didn't understand like I just didn't understand Arabic at the time. So maybe they were saying some things that were racist that I didn't understand. I know that they did have an N-word for black people in Egypt, but Egypt's nasty country, trash fucking everywhere. You go in any fucking highway, you'll see a whole bunch of trash, and then people kind of drive around it. There's a lot of car wrecks that happen. People are erratic drivers. It's a shitty country. I don't recommend people going to it, aside from just seeing the pyramids. But even with that, I would say that Egypt is one stop. Like, you go there one time and you never have to go to Egypt again. I'll be honest. Egypt, from what I understand, is higher ranked than countries like India. I've never been, I just seen the videos. But I would say that it gives you the same sort of vibe from what I've seen with Indian videos. There's a lot of people that will try to bargain with you about everything. And then like sometimes you have these people follow you halfway down the block because they're trying to sell you something. Then you have these people, just like a lot of just like weird, just rude people. And people are kind of violent. There's a lot of terrorist attacks that actually happen in Egypt. It's kind of a sketchy type of country to be in, not gonna lie, because in the neighborhood that I was living in, it was called 6 October or October 6th. It was called the 6th October. And in that neighborhood alone, it's not a small neighborhood like how you would think about it in the US sense. It's like this big, massive part of the city. but the part of the city that I was living in was the same area where one of the terrorist attacks, or like the a lot of terrorist attacks happen, and I'm pretty sure a terrorist organization was also started, which is called the Muslim Brotherhood. Um, Muslim Brotherhood, they're known all around the Middle East. They have factions, I'm pretty sure, in every country. But Egypt is a sketch country. Do not go there. But yeah, man. So that's pretty much it for the video today. And yeah, I think you guys got to know me a little bit more and know a little bit where I'm kind of coming from. I'll probably make multiple parts of this, but this kind of just to get the word out there to let you guys know this part of my backstory.